Hey, welcome back. So back onto Phil's telecaster build now. And the next thing we need to work out is the location of all the controls. Now this is going to be a standard telecaster format wiring configuration, that being a volume, a tone and a three-way selector switch, which will allow obviously to operate either the bridge, the neck, or indeed both pickups simultaneously. So when Phil came for his neck fitting, he also held the guitar and located the points at which he wants his controls to fit. It's not standard, it's not in a telecaster position, it's not in a Stratocaster position, it's in Phil's very own position, so that's where he wanted things to be. So yeah, if anything, the Telecaster configuration, I guess this one's moved around a little bit, and obviously a Strat's got 3 buttons, so it's very different from that. And the three-way switch, although I can't stand it up to show you, is going to be situated somewhere about there. So we're going to have to route a control cavity for all those gubbins to sit in. There's a potentiometer there, the pot, so that's the volume control and indeed the tone control for that matter. So it needs to be able to house 2 of those and 1 of those within the cavity. So how are we going to do that? Well, I'll tell you how we're going to do that. We will probably have to make a specialist template in order to route that cavity and indeed to make the control plate cover, which we're going to make out of Coca-Cola, very similar wood to the neck, as indeed the scratch plate, if we have one, still in debate. If there's a scratch plate, that's going to be made out of cocoa as well. So you have to make some templates in order to create the cavity and indeed to create the plate that covers the cavity. But the first thing we're going to do is we're literally going to drill straight through the body from the top to the back, and then that will give us reference points as to where those 2 elements are sitting, and then simply by measuring the position of that, we should be able to calculate a rough shape of what it is we're looking to have to build from the point of view of templates. So yeah, let's crack on and get that done. So drill the 2 holes all the way from the front through to the back, and just by offering the pots in upside down lets us know the space they're going to occupy, obviously, when they're in the cavity. And we also know that the switch is going to sit around about there, obviously like that, but we can safely say it's going to sit around about there. So anyway, I've just been through every template that I've got, I've made for varying sizes of control cavities, and a few over there, and yeah, not one of them's going to fit. So we're going to have to get creative about it, and yeah, make a set of templates, one for an internal and one for the external control cavity. Happy days. Right then, let's have a little play about with this, and that's exactly what it is going to be. So I can see in my mind's eye, obviously you want to take away as little as possible. Let's just draw a line there. It's actually going to be like that, so it needs to be bigger than that. And where it sits, it's also going to need to be at least as big as that. And so yeah, you can see what I'm doing effectively. I've just set the boundaries from the point of view of the absolute space required. And bearing in mind, this is obviously the internal space as well. So it needs to be at least that big. This is the internal space. We have to try and leave enough room for another cavity, which is slightly, well, very shallow, just around the outside edge, so that when they make the control cavity, it'll drop down inside it and end up flush with the back of the guitar. This is, of course, sketching. And as with all things bespoke and custom, it has to be pretty so I'm just following the curve of the actual guitar, so it appears to be right. Now the input jack is going to come through on the side there, but I'm thinking that it should miss the pot there. So what do you think? Refine it, obviously. Do you like that? Yeah, that'll do. So I've traced my design onto some tracing paper, funnily enough, and I've also included, I've looked to see where I can do this, but I've included some little lugs there, which is where the screws are going to go that actually hold the plate in position. So what I need to do now, so a little acid test to make sure that I've, yeah, that's good. What I need to do now is to transfer that onto a piece of MDF and cut the shape out. And yeah, when it's done, it'll look something like that. Okay, and what you do is you create two templates. One is the internal, and then one that's, this was Mario's, one that's slightly bigger, if you can see. And then when you write down just literally the thickness, effectively, if you imagine that's the hole that you create, you then go back over it and you route down just the thickness of the actual wood that you're going to be using for the blank on the back, for the control cover on the back. And then when it goes on, it sits down into a little hole and remains flush. So I'll get that spammed up now, and then we'll have a little look at the next bit. Man, that is some messy gear. MDF. Thank goodness for dust masks. So yeah, let's have a look at this. So there's the internal template. Looking good. Just out of interest, let's just mark that in there. And then we can offer the external up and make sure that we're not going to be in the way of any cavities or too close to the edges and stuff. Alright, so that's the internal. External is by there. Yeah, that'll work. So yeah, you can see that, yeah. So that's the one we're going to cut deep into, leave those two lugs. And then once we finish that, we'll overlay that one over the hole. And then just chop down the thickness of the material that we're going to use for the control panel. It's the bit that I've prepped up ready for the old scratch plate. Not going to look quite like that, but that's a telly. So yeah, literally going to make a panel out of that shape, and then that'll sit down in the hole, and everyone's a winner, baby. So hey, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it and got something from it. And indeed, if you did, then please subscribe to the channel and share, like, and leave some comments perhaps. Feedback is always great to have. So until next time, thanks very much for watching. See you again.